Hi and welcome to Menstrual Cups and Cloth Pads Kenya. So if you watched my my July what I wore this month video, you'll know that my pads and my interlabial pads were really badly stained. So I'm going to be stain treating them. I did wash them on I would say it was a cool wash, 30-degree wash. So I'm hoping that the stains are not badly set in. Some are much worse than others. The interlabial pads certainly have really suffered, and some of the blue pads are also really bad. So I'll just show you the worst one of the lot. It's that guy. Really bad. So I'm hoping to be able to save these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop them in a bucket with some OxiClean. I'm going to leave them for a while. I'm going to soak them for much longer than I normally do. I normally soak them for like an hour or two and then just check on them periodically. But I'm actually going to leave them for a while just because I think the stains are a bit set in. So I'm just going to grab my Oxy here. This Astonish Oxy Active, I really like this. It's affordable and it is cruelty free. Okay, and I'm just going to use a whole scoop. I'm going to put that whole scoop in. Okay, and I'm going to add some cold water. Okay, so I've mixed that in. It does eventually dissolve, so I'm not worried about that. And then I'm just going to chuck my pads in. I'm not going to bother doing them one at a time. I'm just going to whack them all in. And I'm just going to leave these to soak and I'll come back and check on them in a little bit. Okay, so these have been soaking for like, I don't know, from like 9 in the morning and it's about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So let's have a look at the, oh, here you are. Oh, that is, no change there. And you, oh my gosh. At least you might have some change, barely. Okay, no, not too bad. Who else was bad? You are not so great. Nope, all terrible. Okay, so this is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub some stain stick on them. And then I'm going to put them back in. So 2 seconds. Okay, so I've put some stain treatment on these. I've used some eye cover. Label came off. And I have just rubbed it on the stains. You can still see the stains are quite prominent. So it hasn't really done anything and it's been sitting for a while. Well, I say a while, but maybe 10 minutes. So I'm actually going to, this one is the only one which looks a little bit better. Actually much better. So I'm actually going to put some, I can't tell if this one is fading or not. I don't know. I'm going to put some hydrogen peroxide on them. I'm going to let it sit for a while and then I'll chuck them back in the water and I will give you an update after that. So I actually just wanted to come back and show you this. This is the first pad. I've just poured some hydrogen peroxide on it and it's turned white. I wish I was filming it. I didn't think it was going to look like this. So this is just crazy. So there's just still like a whole lot of blood in these pads. Okay, so the light's fading, so this is probably going to be the last video of today. So in this bowl, I chucked in all the interlabial pads and I just basically poured hydrogen peroxide over them. And you can see they already look much cleaner, not like spotless, but really much cleaner. Like that one had that huge stain in the back and now it's just faded in there. This one was quite bad. Even on the back it's like fading and you can see they're all like puffed up as well. So they're those. I'm going to just now put them all back into that OxiClean that I had been soaking them in earlier. So they're just going straight in there. And then, oh, and I forgot to add that I did add the ones from my August cycle. Just in case. They didn't fizz, so I'm pretty pleased with that because it means that I washed them and they were really clean, and I'm really happy about that actually because they were all hand washed. So I'm now going to put these all back in the water and let them sit. And see, they're starting to look better already. I'm really happy with that. A little bit there, but I'm hoping that the overnight soak, I'm actually going to leave them overnight, which I never do. But I'm going to leave them now. So that one still has the staining. This one had quite a bit of fizzing, but down here, This one, remember that one was looking really dingy, but it's already looking so nice. Even this one looks much brighter already. It was really like dingy around here. What about you? Oh, still stained. You, not bad. This guy, much better. So the stain is lighter now, it's over there. And the final one is still pretty bad. But they're all going to go in there, and some of them will stay in overnight. So I'm going to check it. It's probably about 6 something p.m. now. I'm going to check them at about 9. I'll take some out, and then the rest will sleep in overnight. Actually, I'm going to put this one right in the bottom because he needs all the help he can get. Okay, see you in the morning. So it's the next morning. Last night about 9, I took out these pads because they didn't really need to be soaked, to be honest. And then I took this one out as well because I do want the OBV to fade, and it looks fine. It looks really nice actually. So I took those out. I couldn't remember which of the blue ones. I couldn't figure out which one was the stained one, so I left both of them in. So I'm actually really nervous to go through this because I'm not in the mood for dealing with humongous stains. So that one is definitely still stained. So this pad will be... It's getting better though. It looks much better. It's not 100%, but it's much better. So I went through all the pads. I separated the ones which I thought were not stained or obviously stained. And then I also removed like the interlabial pads and blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through them and pour some hydrogen peroxide on each one of them. The ones that don't react, I'll take them out of the soak. The ones that do, they'll go back into the soak. I changed the water. I just emptied it out, rinsed it out, and added a new scoop of OxyClean. Okay, so I've poured the hydrogen peroxide. These are the 4 pads that are still reacting. So this guy, I decided to try him at the last minute, and you can see he still has some white there. This pad is almost completely white. It's not really showing up, but he's just white all over. That guy has some white there, and then this one, if you see there, lots and lots of reacting. So these 4 pads still have some blood in them, so I'm going to leave them soaking. The other guys are there they are, and then I'm just going to now quickly do the interlabial pads. All right, so I've done the interlabial pads. The top 3 are the worst affected. As you can see, they are virtually white. This red one surprised me because it looked really clean. This blue one with the panda face, it's just always really stains really badly. This is not the first time that I'm having this problem with it. I dread to think if this was a pad, I'll probably have just given up on it by now. It stains super badly. So yeah, so I'm just going to let all of these guys sit with this guy, and I'm going to let them just sit for a while. So I decided not to bother putting these in the OxyClean. I couldn't be bothered, and it seemed like it was working really well, the hydrogen peroxide on its own. So I just left them. They've been sitting here for quite a while because I've just been out and about doing my own things. And as you can see, this one is pretty clean. It is actually completely stain free, but look at the size of that. It looks like a teddy bear. That's just crazy. So yeah, so they're all clean. They're all stain free. I'm just going to quickly check on these. That one has come out really well as well. I also just left that in the hydrogen peroxide, and I just left it face down. So I'm now going to put all of these into the laundry. I'm going to put them in mesh bags. I'm going to wash them on a long cycle just because I want to make sure that everything is super duper clean. And I will come back and film the last bit once they are out and dry. Okay, so I'm going to do a water saving 30, take that out, add that, and what I'll do is I'll add some extra time to the cycle. So that's 1:45. I think that's long enough without being too wasteful. And start. Okay, here are my pads. I've just taken them off the line, and let's go through the ones that was stained. So there's this guy, no stains, perfect. Who else was bad? You were bad, perfection. Who else? You, nothing, and you. Sorry, the light is not great, but it's evening. Nothing. So yeah, these have come out really well. I'm really happy. It was a little bit lengthy, but it wasn't difficult. I should also add that my pads are not worse for wear for all the soaking. Okay, this one I didn't soak for that much, but and this one I soaked overnight, and I was using 6% peroxide on them. The colors are still nice. I think if there's going to be any fading, it was going to fade anyway. Like, it's just the fabric, but there is no fading. So that was one of my concerns, actually, was soaking it overnight in OxiClean and what impact it has on the fabric, because I'm a print person. I love prints. I love the pretties. So I like my pads to remain looking pretty. And yeah, there's absolutely none of them which has lost any color. The black ones are usually the ones that I worry about the most. They do tend to fade a bit faster, but they look beautiful. If you have any questions about anything that I've done in my process, let me know. Thank you for watching.